Tomorrow marks 1 year since the January 22nd, 2024 floods. They killed at least 5 people and left thousands of others homeless, some of whom still haven't made it back into their homes. Thank you for joining us on this very busy day. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I am Wale Aliyu. It is good to be with you. We have been, of course, covering the historic floods and the ongoing recovery from the beginning. Tonight, my one-on-one interview with Mayor Todd Gloria. I asked him the tough questions as he reflects on the last 365 days, where he places the blame and where he takes accountability. What do you think is the perception of the city from the perspective of the flood victims?
There's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of wondering if something could have been different. And I understand all that. I respect that. What I also think is in that perspective is the fact that an atmospheric river dumped over 4 inches of rain on a very concentrated part of our community that happened to be the Choyas Creek watershed, where we have 100-year-old storm drains and channels that were not sized to ever deal with a storm of that magnitude. I understand all of that anger and frustration, and I suspect it'll be there for a long time. What I'd hope is that people see is a city that took the situation extremely seriously.
Is there anything the city could have done differently so that perception wouldn't be as negative?
Because of the direct personal loss of the people involved, I'm not sure there's anything that could have made them feel any differently. That said, I think one of the things the city has never done well is explain to San Diegans the importance of stormwater infrastructure and how our current system is very old and in need of extreme investment. Going forward, my hope is that we all can understand, much like we learned after the 2003 and 2007 fires, why fire prevention is so necessary, that going forward we'll be a community that understands why we must prioritize stormwater, maybe sometimes over other assets that we may utilize more frequently.
You and I have both spoke with a lot of the flood victims. One of the things I hear them tell me when I'm out there is we did report the Choyas Creek issues before January 22nd. We were on the Get It Done app. We had been complaining about this for weeks, if not months, if not years. And now, in one way or shape or the other, the city's going to have to pay for it, whether it's through lawsuits or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't prevention have been better?
Yes, but I think there's a couple pieces of that. One is that every engineer I've spoken to says it doesn't matter what condition those channels were in, that flood was going to happen. It is not sized for a 1,000-year storm like what we experienced on January 22nd. Building something of that magnitude would require a level of investment that the city simply doesn't have. Now, with regard to the channel maintenance, yes, there have been long concerns and complaints. The city has done maintenance on a haphazard basis. But what I would say is that the city has always wanted to do more in our stormwater channels. The challenge that we experience is that these channels that you and I and the people impacted and the average San Diegan look at and say it's a concrete channel. It's meant to convey stormwater out of neighborhoods. Got it. For some of our county, state, and federal partners, they see it as sensitive habitat. They see it as something that is, in order to maintain it, you need to do extraordinary environmental analysis, long-term planning. It's not a matter of go clean out that channel and you can do it tomorrow. We were able to ask in the aftermath of the January 22nd storm, the legislature to grant us the ability to do that kind of clearing more efficiently without the long bureaucratic processes. And
is it a coincidence that the portion of our city that had poor infrastructure just happens to be a Black and brown community? Tomorrow night, we will have part 2 of that interview, hear why the mayor admits some of our poor neighborhoods get treated differently and what role race played in these historic floods.